My name is Carson White, and if it feels like we've been here before, we have. Welcome back, DV, back to virtual learning. All of our Tempe Union high schools have shifted back to being off campus. While we'll be in this mode for the remainder of the semester, here's a quick message from Mr. D.
Hello, DV. So obviously, we're back in virtual again and learning from home. And so I'm speaking right now to those of you for whom this model is really, really challenging. I know it's not easy for everybody. Some of you are in a situation where you may be failing a class or two. My advice to you is don't wait. Reach out to your teacher or teachers and make a plan. Our teachers are being extremely flexible in what we're allowing for passing of classes for this semester. But there are no freebies. So you got to reach out, make a plan with your teachers. For those of you for whom you're thriving in this environment, congratulations. Thank you for doing all that you're doing, and keep it up. Guys, you know we will come out on the other end of this. But let's everybody do our part and keep things moving forward. Guys, have a great week. Go Thunder!
Since the birth of this country, we have had a set of rules to keep the government in check and to protect our rights. But what do these rules look like in action? How do we know when our rights are being violated? Hi, I'm Max of Magnifying Glass. I work for the Sorensen Police Department, and the sheriff asked me if I could spare some words with you. It's stated in the Fourth Amendment that the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. That's a lot of words. Let's start here. It says that the police need a warrant in order to search something. What's a warrant, you say? A warrant is a document issued by an unbiased judge that authorizes the police or some other body to search the premise, or carry out some other action relating to the administration of justice. A warrant must also be very specific. Say your Uncle Joe is being hunted for the crime of stealing dogs, and dressing them up as Star Wars characters. The warrant must state that the police are there to look for an adult human person, and therefore it is infringing on your rights of privacy if they look through a place that obviously cannot hide a person. Ever heard of the Map v. Ohio case? A lady named Dollar Map was suspected in housing a wanted man, and the police had found incriminating evidence in her house. But the evidence was found in places where a man could not have been hidden, therefore the evidence was illegally collected. So can the police who are specifically looking for Uncle Joe look through the desk? No. The medicine cabinet? Nope. That secret box under your bed that you really hope your mom doesn't find? Well, they can't look in the box, but they can look under your bed and wonder what's in the box for the rest of their careers. Nothing here? All clear, officers. Wait, there's been a baby yoga beagle sighting at the state border. To the cop car! While we're on our way, let me tell you when and where the police don't need a warrant. If you give them consent or permission to search your house, they can immediately go in and search anywhere they like without the restrictions of a warrant. The police can also seize anything that they can see in plain view from where they can legally stand. Here's a fun one. Search incident to lawful arrest. If a person is already being arrested, then the police can search them and their surrounding areas for their protection and for anyone else who might be nearby. Another place where warrants are usually not necessary are in schools. Take the TLO New Jersey case. A vice principal in a New Jersey school caught one of his students smoking in the school restrooms. After he sent her to the principal's office, he looked through her purse and found drugs and a list of people who owed her money for drugs. The Supreme Court approved of this search, as they deemed the teacher to have had reasonable suspicion to search her purse for the safety of all the other students. Look, there he is. The border police are searching him now. This is another search that can be legally done without a warrant. Since Uncle Joe was in a car that has already been identified to be his, the police can search him on the spot, because by the time they can get a warrant, the car might be halfway across the country. Hey, you see that person over there? I think they've been following us the whole chase. And look, they have a chihuahua just as Han Solo. Maybe we should stop and frisk them. A stop and frisk occurs when an officer has reasonable suspicion or an unarticulated hunch that requires facts or circumstances that give rise to more than a bare imaginary or purely conjectural suspicion, and a brief pat is performed. This very quick impromptu was brought to you by Terry v. Ohio. In this case, a police officer, Martin McFadden, saw two men scoping out a building multiple times, and he quickly frisks them. The two men had weapons on them, but the defense stated that the officer did not have probable cause to frisk the two men. Eventually, the Supreme Court deemed that McFadden had evidence and reasonable suspicion to conduct a search and seizure. If the police have someone they need to take into custody and they have performed all the right procedures, they can then arrest the subject. An arrest differs from a stop and frisk because the suspect is now legally allowed to be thoroughly searched and taken into police custody. An arrest must also have these 4 things. The officer must go up to the suspect with the intent to arrest. They must have the authority to arrest. The person being arrested must be taken to a place where they can be held custody. And the person being arrested must be informed that they are indeed being arrested and told their rights. You are being arrested. This brings up Miranda warnings. In 1966, a man named Ernesto Miranda was arrested. He wasn't told his rights and he confessed to a crime under questionable circumstances. Now, the Supreme Court requires the police to tell the person being arrested that they have the right to remain silent, anything they say can and will be used against them, they have the right to a lawyer, and if they cannot afford one, they will be provided a lawyer. Nice. This has been my PSA. Now go out there and don't get caught up in the criminal justice system.
Maybe being a lawyer or judge is in your future. If you are a student who needs to start planning for college, here's a great resource for you. The deadline for the Hispanic Heritage Foundation's 2020 Youth Awards Educational Grants Program is Sunday, December 6th. Any senior or Latino student should complete and submit the application by December 6th. This 22nd Annual Youth Awards will award students up to $1,000 to fund their higher education or community-based project. Recipients will be selected for their accomplishments in the classroom, community, and for their excellence in various educational categories. Recipients will also be celebrated in virtual ceremonies. Students, you can apply at www.hhfyouthawards.com. Good luck. We want to remind you to buy your yearbook. Go online to jostens.com, look up Desert Vista, and reserve your copy. Look, this year is one that will never happen again. Be sure that you have a yearbook that would definitely be a collector's item. If you need more details, contact yearbook teacher, Mrs. Kim. That's it for another week of Dvtv. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at DVHS Thunder Media. Hope to see you back here next week.